war's over, but a soldier on, still battling the ghost. No, no, no. Oh. Still struggling to see the signs, too heavy for a heart line. Save.
What's going on? What's going on, people? What's going on? Yeah, I like it. Gotta take it there. Gotta take it there. Gotta take it there. What's going on, everybody? This is Chris Carter, Crypto Secret X, and today I'm bringing you some hidden gems. I'm not going to take a lot of time. I'm going to get right into it, but there is a lot of information and some things that I found that just gems that I missed, and it was right there in front of me. And I think a lot of you going to be like, "Wow, I did." You know, you may have known it, may not have, may have invested in it, may not have. But let's see here. But that's one of the reasons the camera here. Let me make sure my camera here is going right for me. Sometimes that camera want to mess up. So let's see here. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna share the screen with you here and get right into it. I want to show you this Fed's meeting first before I get into the bulk of it. And then I want you to hear this. This is with Jerome Powell talking about the situation that's going on with the market. So just real quick, and then I'm going to bring these other cryptos that I've been talking to that we just blatantly been missing.
All of our institutions are deeply intertwined, and when there is a situation where there's serious stress, you need to get a global perspective. You need to get perspective around the world, and you have to do that very quickly. And we of course can move quickly and effectively on the domestic front, but what the thing that you figure out in those times is that all the time you spent at Basel and at the G7 and G20 meetings, you know your colleagues, you know and trust and respect their judgment, and you don't have to go through that phase of gaining trust in people. You understand each other, you speak the same language, so there's a lot of communication. The level of communication is pretty high anyway, but during crises, it goes very high. You're constantly talking.
He's talking about the crisis situation and just what's going on.
Other central bankers around the world, and also political leaders in our government, and that sort of thing. So that happens a lot.
This has a lot to do with what's going on with our market right
what
now.
What you're doing again is mostly sharing information and ideas about what to do. There may be a proposal that people are looking at, and you're talking about that. So it's very useful. I say. One thing to point out is it's less about coordination than it is about talking and understanding for one reason, or at least it was during the pandemic. And that was because almost every country's interest rates were very close to zero when the pandemic hit. And so there wasn't policy space for most economies, most central banks to do a big coordinated rate cut. We did cut very quickly to zero, but I think we were higher than almost any other nation in terms of where our policy rate was. But
this is anyway, a key point that I would definitely want you to look at right here.
Those relationships that you built up really do help at that point. In terms of you asked about learning, what have we learned? You know, I think that the pandemic is going to teach a whole lot of lessons over time. I still think it's too early to say what they are with confidence. And I'll point out
right here, I know he's talking about the
has surprised
inflation
us over and over again. Most recently,
it's going on
in the United States,
and that was one of the biggest things.
Performance of the economy at a
when
time
they were printing money
all
there.
Economists were expecting a recession. So I think if you'd asked for the lessons of the pandemic a year and a half ago, you'd get a very different answer. Now, I think in a year or so, we'll have a lot more answers. It is a unique set of circumstances, and we're still learning, I think, but we will try to learn those lessons. Different point I would say about the bank stresses, another crisis, at least here in the States. I do think we can and have learned the lessons of the stress of early last spring. And I would point to a couple things that we embraced pretty forthrightly. One was that supervision was not tightly focused on the right things, was not proactive enough, was not forceful enough. and we've tried to take steps to remedy that. I also think there will be some regulatory initiatives for banks of that size and with those characteristics in time. So I do think those are lessons that we have learned.
And from a Canadian perspective, similar lessons or different ones?
Yes, I think there are similar lessons.
Very
Maybe
key
I'll just
point
give a
here.
couple of
If you
other
start looking at,
examples. I'll just
you're seeing how the
first, though,
central
I will
banks
just
and how they
underline,
work
when
together
a crisis
to put
hits,
things together.
you're
And
you're faced with a
you're seeing it
situation, you have to make
firsthand here.
decisions, and you have very limited information. The other reality is you have a pretty narrow window to act to be really effective. And for both those reasons, being able to speak, directly to Jay, to connect with our other colleagues, finding out what's happening in their jurisdiction, how are they thinking about it, what do they see as the options? It is hugely important in a crisis, and that
Definitely
want to
look at some of this stuff.
sharing. I mean, I
And
think
as we
it
get into
helps
it,
us avoid unintended consequences of our actions. Sometimes you do something and it works for most parties, but not one party. And in a crisis, it's the weakest link that can take you down.
so basically, the reason I wanted to show you that, because I know a lot of times what's been going on in our market, there has been a tremendous drop. A lot of times those markets have a tendency to make people nervous of what's going on. Just not very clear. So I want to go into this part right here. Camera been acting up on me here a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and go get right into it. But I went to a site called DeFi Llama, and I was looking at DeFi Llama, and I was just happened to be looking at just the top protocols of things that were out. And one of the things I started looking at was what were the top protocols. And as I began to go through the top protocols, I saw what Ethereum, and it was linked in all four. You had the liquid staking, the restaking, the lending, and the CDP. I went down to Solana, and I saw they had Jito, Kamano Lin, and Parrot protocol. So these are just various different usages of the blockchain. But then as I scroll down and I begin to look at other ones, there were only a few, if you notice this, they had like the three, like more than one usage. Unlike Polygon Matic had two here, Optimism had two, but then I saw Arbitrum had four, and I was like, okay, correct. Avi, same thing as Ethereum, and I wasn't hearing many people talk about Arbitrum. Then I scrolled down, I saw Blast Protocol. Okay, then I saw Avalanche, Avi3, and then as I scroll down, I saw Kronos, and then Aptos. So, and then it was only a few that had about three that they were actually working on. So then I went back and I wanted to see what Arbitrum. Just started looking at it, and so I came up with a few tokens here that we're really aren't buying. And then I wanted to look at what was the protocol and what was protocol all about. And classically, the blockchain system, when you talk about the different protocols, the blockchain system performance is evaluated across two dimensions. Okay, it's latency and throughput. Latency measures how quickly an individual transaction can be confirmed, whereas the throughput measures the aggregated rate of the transaction over time. So now, when I begin to look at Avi, I wanted to go back because I saw Avi was on a couple of them, and I clicked on Avi because I wanted to see where Avi was. And I saw the amount of money they were at, 8.17 billion, and they were also being used by several different other blockchains. But now, when you go to top protocols and you look at it, you see Ethereum at the top. You see all these various places at the top. And then I went to the protocol Treasury. So then I went to the protocol Treasury. Not only did I see Arbitrum, but I saw Mantle. This is another one. It had 73.18 million, 749, which was right up number 2, right up on the Ethereum. Okay. So I said, well, so I see the treasury note. Now I want to go down and look at the protocol expenses. And I saw this one protocol, and I'm trying to get to it, which was called Pendle. And when I got on Pendle, I was looking at it, and I'm going to show you this because I want you to actually see this. This is just the various chains. And you see Arbitrum is number 5. Okay. And then when you go to the, I believe it's Oracles. Let me make sure I'm going to the right one. Let's see here. Then I went to Oracles, and, I started scrolling down because these are all the chains that are working on these various Oracles. So you had Chainlink, which had 11. You had Pyth that has 47. Okay. I know y'all heard people talk about Pyth. Then you had Redstone. Okay. So then there are 3 tokens right there that I mentioned to you that a lot of, I've heard people talk about a little bit, but not a lot. I heard Pyth, Mantle, and Arbitrum. Pyth, Mantle, and Arbitrum. Remember those. Okay. Pyth, Mantle, Arbitrum. Okay. Protocol expenses. And then, I scrolled, I saw Avi was number 5, kept scrolling. I saw Beefy. Now, these are the head counts. These are the people these are the different usages and how many different blockchains are on them. So MakerDAO had 97 and Lido had 83. Lido. But, you count down the Badger, they had 15. But Beefy had 20. I looked at Beefy, and Beefy was like $355 per token. I was like, wow, did I miss it? Did I miss Beefy? Did I go past it and just didn't look at it or miss it? So the more I begin to look at this, the more I begin to see that there was a particular token also. And I'm going to pull this one up here. There were 3 of them. It was Pendle, and I'll go to Pendle Crypto, and Curve Finance, which had 13 chains working on it. Pendle had 6, Curve had 13. And the one thing I like about Pendle, and let me go ahead and put Pendle in here and I'll show you. Let's see here, Pendle. Make sure I didn't get anything else in there. Let's see. Let's go to Pendle. I'm going to share this tab with you. Pendle is sitting at about $6. Okay. Now, the one thing about Pendle, when I look at Pendle, 92.5% of Pendle is out. Okay. It's currently sitting at $6. Pendle has been out a total of, let's see, when did it come out? I want to see exactly when it came out. I know, let's see, 2022, a year ago, 6 days, it reached its all-time high at $6.52. The low, when I looked at the chart, the all-time chart, you see this right here? It came out about $1.97, and then through that bear market, it was only sitting at 37, 40 some cents. And then all of a sudden I'm like, bam, it just shot up. How could I miss this one? And these are like, they're loaning protocols. So let me see if I can get here to where it's lending. Let's see, I want to scroll back to it and I want you to see this because I was buying Comp because I was like, Comp was one of the ones that ran up. I missed it. And I missed this one. I missed Pendle. And here's an opportunity to get back in on Pendle. I don't know if many of you knew about Pendle, but I was like, man, we're really missing it. And I'm trying to I want to get here to where they're talking about the trying to get back to where they're talking about the loans, where they're able to give loans and etc. and things like that. Not the airdrops and stuff like that. Bridge TVLs. Let me see if I can find the Pendle. And that's what I'm trying to find here. And yesterday, boy, all this was like just boom, like there's one. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm missing this one. I'm missing that one. Let's see here. Where is Pendle? Let's see. Pendle, I believe Pendle is somewhere right in here. Total value lock. But and I mean, if I wasn't looking for it, I'd be able to find it. But I do know that Pendle has 6 chains on it right now. It's currently sitting at $6. The next one was Curve Finance. Now, the thing I didn't like the tokenomics on Curve. That was probably the only thing I didn't like about Curve Finance. But when I come back to Pendle and I look at, just the tokenomics is out. If you want to know what Pendle is all about, Pendle is a protocol that enables tokenization and trading for future yield, which the creation of a novel AMM that supports assets with time decay. Pendle gives users more control over future yields, providing optionality and opportunities for utilization. Okay, so basically it does the same thing, and it's on popular token on Ethereum chain, most visited crypto, they have all that, but Pendle is right in there. For as the markets, when you look at Pendle, you can pretty much you can buy it on Gate Owl, HTX, Uniswap, Bybit. Let's see, I mean it's on a couple, it's Uniswap, crypto.com. So it's on several other exchanges. Now, as far as when you go to it has the ability to restate, but also when you go to the analytics of Pendle, you can see where at 422, you're looking at 1.95K. But as you look at just the growth of Pendle over the period of time from May 23 to 24, it's been on a consistent uprise. And it is also one of them, the cryptos in which you're able to borrow. So you can actually stake other cryptos to gain money using Pendle. So am I going to be buying Pendle? Yes, I'm going to be buying Pendle quite a bit. I know right now Pendle is sitting at 239,185,588. So Pendle, and I'm gonna give you the other one, Arbitrum, and I'm gonna Beefy was just like Beefy is $300, and Mantle are the cryptos that I am going to be really investing in because of the base, because of the top protocols. Now, Base is up in there. When you look at Base on the all-time chains and the top protocols, Base is up, right up at the top. I don't think Base has a token as of yet. But when you look at Base, you see Base is right up there. But Arbitrum, man, I don't know if y'all been buying Arbitrum, but right now, if you look at Arbitrum and the price of Arbitrum, let's get to the price of Arbitrum so you can see what I'm talking about. Arbitrum, AR. There we go. Arbitrum. Let me see. Let's see. ARB. Let's go to ARB. That's what I got. Okay. When you look at Arbitrum, Arbitrum is currently also sitting at about $1.12. Right now with Arbitrum, and this is the only thing about Arbitrum which I don't really care too much of, is the total supply and the circulating supply. That's the only thing I didn't really like about Arbitrum, and it is inflationary. But the thing about it is that it's when I go back to DeFi Llama and I look at the usage of Arbitrum, it matches the same thing as Ethereum. So Am I going to be buying Arbitrum? I'm going to DCA in Arbitrum. I'm definitely going to be buying. I keep saying Pendle, but let me make sure I said that correctly. Because I keep saying Pendle. I don't know why I want to say that. Yeah, Pendle, Pendle. Yeah, so Pendle. I'm definitely going to be buying Pendle, and I'm definitely going to be buying Mantle. Those are just 3 tokens, but this one right here, I think this one is a doozy, man. I just think we missed it, and we got an opportunity here before this next bull run, because when we get closer after the halving, there is a thing with DeFi where a lot of people are going to start borrowing. They're going to start because they're going to be trying to get as much Bitcoin as they can. And that's when you're going to see things start running up, especially when it comes to the borrowing and lending. I hope I'm saying Pendle. I hope I'm saying that correctly. But in the last day, it's up 28%. But this is one I'm definitely going to be buying. And just wanted to drop that off to you. And here, I'm going to say it again. My 3 are Arbitrum, Pendle, and Mantle. I'm definitely going to be buying those 3. I'll put those names in the listing down below. But I just wanted to share that with you. I saw that yesterday. And also just stay the course, man. We've been given a great opportunity here to get our foot in the door if you missed it, because of the actual war that's going on, that's causing the crypto market and everything else to kind of plummet. This basically crash. We've been given a golden opportunity to get back. Now, I know meme coins are down too, but these are like strong projects that have great usage. So we don't want to miss that. But I just want to drop that off with you today. Just a little short video. I know I'm not going to take long. I'm getting ready to get out of here. But thank y'all for subscribing. And like I always say, you'll never learn how to swim without jumping in, and you'll never climb a mountain without stumbling. This is Chris Carr with Crypto Secret X, and I am out.
Keep my heritage to keep me clean. Keep the devil watching over me. Save me. Save me. Less than before I walk away. Spellbound, I'll stutter, I pray, release.